Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Welcome back, viewers. We were discussing about the sustainable health, health grid and the sustainable quality improvement programs. So, to continue with this, now we will discuss about the other things like how this integration of policy and practices should be done along with other sectors. Other sectors like building healthy and health creating communities like through the employers, through the educators, through the designers, through the IT professionals, and so that means to how to develop a multi-sectoral partnership also, multi-sectoral partnership to determine health, the status have the responsibility for protecting and promoting the health. It is not just the responsibility of the health professionals or the health department staff, but it is also a kind of, in the health grid, all kinds of network with other specialists like the educators, the designers, system designers, IT professionals, and all the community level people, all kinds of employers, how they should be added, how they should be integrated in the system with the responsibility of protecting the community health, the overall health system. So, here again another important thing that we have already discussed about, that should be the immense support of public and political parties and the political, that means the government. So, public and politically acceptability and the support, that means that this is the system, the health grid or the quality improvement or sustainable health system. We are just preparing it, establishing it, starting it, not just for the patients or for the rural people or the local people, but for the whole state, whole country. So, for the health services, definitely all of us, because hospital and health sector is such a place that where people across the globe will come for the treatment and the healthcare. So, it is not just for the local people. So, here in order to establish a very good hospital health system, so all kinds of public support should be there, again all kinds of political consensus should be there, acceptability should be there, support should be there. So, not in terms of investment, not in terms of economic aspects or financial aspects, but also in terms of all kinds of sanctions like the land, the low area, then for the manpower resources and for all kinds of the infrastructure facilities. So, there should be complete, the community people should be supportive towards this kind of health initiative, health venture. So, public and political support is very important to strengthen the system. So, this is about the sustainable, how we can develop sustainable quality improvement process, that is from time to time to update it to improve its quality, efficiency and effectiveness. Now, what is the role of ESD here? Again, ESD's role is there to in communication, in education, in generating, creating awareness, in training and development, all kinds of things, in feedback mechanism, developing all kinds of measurement tools, assessment tools, impact analysis, data analysis, all these here the things, and here how ESD can be blended with. So, but here again ESD also role is to also to develop a balanced lifestyle, how to educate people, how to motivate people for developing a kind of balanced lifestyle. So, not only about the nutritional health, diet and water, but how to lead a balanced lifestyle. So, from time to time all our citizens and stakeholders, they should be educated, informed and motivated. So, balanced lifestyle primarily it means a kind of balance balance of control of and balance of all aspects of our life. So, it is not just about the physical health, but also our mental health, our social health, community health, our spiritual health and the family health, financial condition. Again, from our income, regular income, we have to keep separately some amount or save it for the health care also. So, then even if we are working in the different organizations, etc., in the workplace also, this healthcare, sustainable lifestyle, balanced lifestyle, again it should be a part of it, like in work, in order to maintain the work-life balance, that is in the workplace also these kind of so nowadays the organizations also they are also preparing all kinds of the gymkhanas, exercise gyms, and then and in a relaxation rooms, the meditation rooms and the hubs, all kinds of things for giving due time and due space to all their workers to make them more efficient, productive, and cool. So for work and the career, to maintain a balance in terms of work-life balance, career life balance, social life, how to lead a proper social life, that is also a very important factor. So in order to lead a balanced lifestyle, these are the crucial factors. So besides that, we have to also individually do something, practice something like the spiritual practices, like for example, nowadays we are all kinds of thing now, these art of living courses, this deep contemplation. Now so many videos are coming of videos and YouTube links, and they are also in the social networking sites. So from time to time the health educators, the motivational speakers, they educate, they give us the kind of thing, how deep breathing can help us, and how other kinds of spiritual practices, meditation, then the mindfulness activities, and pursuing the good hobbies, and then listening to music, different kinds of therapy, all these are how important these are. So again, so this kind of we must adopt, all of us, we must adopt, and we must educate the people to adopt, to develop this kind of habits and practices. So it gives us a kind of not only de-stress us, but also give a kind of scope for deep contemplation and analysis of our life. So that means giving space to individuals, every individual space and time for our individual health, as well as the mental health, individual health, physical health, as well as the personality development. So being happy and truly comes when we are in control of our own thoughts. So that not only we care for serve others, but also we need to take care of ourselves. So these kinds of individual time we spend with ourselves, the space, so it also focuses on our own thoughts and actions, so that we can take the full responsibility and control of our, not only our health, but also our thoughts, our emotions, our actions, and our goals, life goals, and we can manage the time accordingly. So manage the time accordingly. So regular rhythm life and nature walks in natural cycle and natural rhythms. So like some kind of services, like some kind of like gardening is a hobby, taking care of the small children in the crèche, or working in a crèche, or opening a crèche, then taking care of the small children, then the nursery, then some kind of music classes, music schools, drawing, painting. So these kind of things also, which are more related to our nature, our ecosystem, our environment, and serving others, this kind of thing also, it brings a kind of happiness, a rhythm in our life. And all the time, yes, definitely everybody should aspire to achieve certain goals in life, but being over ambitious, again, it causes so much of stress and tension in our life. So for that, we need to have a simpler approach to life, even though we can have the very ambitious goals, and we are very much dedicated to achieve that goal, but the approach towards life should be very simple. So and we have already discussed that how all of us should be alert and be careful about the precautionary measures, how we should be proactive and take the preventive medicines as a precautionary measure. So these things also be given due emphasis in education and information services. So here again, the role of ESD is that, yes, we have already discussed about the how to bring that 300 degrees transformation in this health domain. So transformative education, it is begins. So ESD's role is there to begin with the transformative education patterns. So UNESCO has already advocated for this, but that means starting from our nursery crèche to the all kinds of top level, highest level of communication and the professional education, etc. So transformative education should be implemented, should be involved, should be integrated. So not only in the curriculum, not only in the pedagogy, not only in the ecosystem environment, but also in content, in teaching practice, in motivation, in all kinds of. So transformative education actually It emphasizes on teaching and learning, to completely geared and to motivate and empower our learners. So, and the all age group, all categories and all age group learners, that is starting from the small children to the aged old age people. So, to motivate them to adopt to practice certain things, that is balanced lifestyle, take care of their own health, and some of the regular habits, disciplinary activities, etc. But at the same time, to empower them with the decision making. So, to motivate and empower the learners to take the informed decision, that decision and action at the individual, at the community level and the global level, but yes, in the right context, in the right time. That means taking the decision at every level, but at the right context and the right level, right time. So, that is very important. So, that is why it implies that ensuring the all our curriculum, pedagogy, learning material, starting from the very beginning of the primary schools to the learning environment, to the pedagogy, that means political environment, economic, and all across all the cultural context. So, these kind of ESD, transformative education, how that means information, that ESD information regarding the health and other important SDGs, how it can be blended in the curriculum, pedagogy from the very beginning, at the grassroots level, we can say from the primary school, even primary school and the creche and nursery level, or we can say in the rural areas, the Anganwadis level. It should be practiced, it should be delivered, it should be discussed, it should be blended from the very beginning, not only in the curriculum content, but in the environment, in the ecosystem, in the practice, in terms of learning materials, in terms of so that from the very beginning, all the children, all the students, they will be exposed to that kind of mindset, that kind of paradigm, like that is how to take care of not only our own health, but our society, our environment, our home, our family. So, they will be very much conscious and alert about. It's not just about mugging of the informations. So, transformative education. So, now this everywhere you can find out there is emphasis on transformative pedagogy, transformative education, transformative transformative leadership, all everywhere you can find out now how to bring the transformation. It's not just about educating, but sustainable development can only happen with transformative education, which has the capacity, power, content and ability to bring that 360-degree transformation with continuous learning, continuous educating, continuous motivation, continuous awareness program, everything. So, this is actually the cycle of this transformative education format. So, how in the learning content, how from the very beginning the sustainability, how it can be sustainability issues, how it can be integrated regard, that means all the 17 ESD information about all the 17 SDGs, starting from the climate change to all kinds of learning, how it can be embedded, how it can be integrated in the learning content from the very beginning. So, we used to have this environmental science, environmental education, anything. It is not just about environment, but we have to also develop the content, ESD content on society, community health, community well-being, community welfare. At the same time, the economical aspects also, prosperity aspect, and economic some fundamental basic ideas, knowledge about the economics, financial assets. So, we can, that means all our children they will be very much informed from the very beginning about how to maintain a balance in this, at least this triple bottom line paradigms. So, from here again, from the learning content to again pedagogy and the learning environment. Pedagogy, the teachers, the tutors, and even the administrators, principals, etc. They must adopt this kind of pedagogy, like through interaction, through project based learning, through so this kind of transformative learning pedagogy, like the learner centered approach, then the collaborative things, then project based learning, then problem based learning, and especially taking up the social projects, taking up some social problems and learning out of it through experiential learning, through learning by doing. So, by adopting a whole institution approach everywhere, be it hospital, be it education, be it organizations, be it industry, be it any kind of enterprise. So they are this whole institution approach actually is beneficial. So this whole institution approach, that is to ESD, that is to enable the learners to live what they learn and learn what they live. So from that means you can say we have to put forth, we have to blend, we have to embed, we have to develop this kind of mindset, thought process, lifestyle, everything from the very beginning. That means whatever they will study through the books, through the teaching learning process, etc., they are actually going to practice it in their life. So learning by doing, experiential learning, contemplating on what you are learning, then practicing it actually in our life, in our day-to-day life. So that is true for not only for the individuals, or for the children, for the students, learners, but for the organizations also, for the organizations, for the institutions, for everyone. Whatever we are learning, we have been learning since childhood. So regarding the sustainability, so we need to that means practice it. So they automatically it becomes a habit. So automatically it becomes a habit that whatever we learn, we become very conscious of these things and we practice it. So how through adopting a whole institution approach, ESD can be blended not only in the content but in the pedagogy, in teaching learning process from the very beginning, from the childhood education, that is, and how it is going to be practiced. So that is why all these kinds of experiential learning, project based learning, so interactive sessions and new pedagogical things like flipped method and higher education, and especially project based, assignment based and problem based learning, experiential learning, things that will help us in adopting this thing. Then thereafter, from there again a societal in transformation. Then automatically when all the members they behave in a sustainable way, then automatically it will have a impact on the social and adding the social value. So that is enable the achievement of the SDGs towards building a more sustainable world. So how it can be transformed, how it can be transformed to have a social impact on our community, on our society. So it moves towards the social transformation towards, that is achieving the SDGs towards building a more sustainable world society. From there onwards again the learning outcomes. So through whatever the learning outcomes at the individual level, at the school level, institution level, to the society level, then these are the learning outcomes. So these learning outcomes actually empower the people. These learning outcomes actually empower the people to take the responsibility for their own environment, own family, own health, own community, or their own community, their own surrounding. And for the future generations as well. So these learning outcomes, actually the substantial learning outcomes due to the transformation process, that actually empowers the people not only take the right decision but also the responsibility of the society, responsibility of the present generation as well as the future generation. So they keep on actively contributing to this, towards the social transformation, towards the social development. So that is the ultimate outcome. So the ultimate goal of ESD is to not only make them familiar with, make them alert, but make them active, but also to take the responsibility, enable them to take the responsibility of the present and the future, and to keep on working in the sustainable development of their society, of their community and the planet at the global level, not only at the local, regional, but at the global level. So here this is the cycle. So from the learning content to pedagogy to social transformation, then to learning outcome, from the learning outcome, how that can be implemented in our, not only in our personal life, in our academic life, in our work life, in our institutional life, in the organizational setup, everywhere it will be practiced as a part of policy implementation. So it keeps on moving. It's a continuous learning cycle. So the General Assembly also, UNESCO General Assembly also confirms and reaffirms again and again that ESD should be integrated, is an integral element of this SDG process. So SDG goals, SDG process, and goal on the quality education, and is actually the key enabler of all other sustainable development goals. Is the key enabler for, because we have to mobilize our human resource towards this sustainability, because our major resource, the most important vital resource is human resource. How to mobilize the human resource? that is through education, through information, through motivation, through disseminating the information, and to make them active through experiential learning and adopting a sustainable lifestyle. So it's a continuous lifelong learning process. So here again we can say, to shift to the sustainable future, that is why we need to rethink, we need to revisit our education policy, we need to revisit our curriculum, we need to revisit our policy, education policy. That means we need to rethink what, where and how we are going to learn and develop the new skills, knowledge, values and attitudes, etc. So in the next classes we will be somewhere we will be discussing about what are the sustainability skills and sustainability competences. So sustainability competence. So we need to, that is why we need to rethink, revisit, modify and revise and update ourselves by asking questions, not only to ourselves but our system, education system, that what we are going to, what we need, that means where we should start or begin with, how we are going to learn and blend the new knowledge and skills and values, how it adds value to our society, not only to our society and country but at the global level. So that is so that every citizen, every stakeholder can make an informed decision, take the responsibility for the collective action, that is both at the local, national and the global level. So informed decision, taking the informed decision and taking the responsibility for the collective action, in both individual and collective action, for achieving or moving towards these SDGs both at the local, national and the global level, keeping in mind these current challenges, the global challenge that we are facing, that like the climate change, then terrorism, then financial crisis, all kinds of things. So then we have to prepare our learners across the ages, across the categories, to how to battle our own lives. So as the United Nations Secretary General calls, that ESD is a well established framework for doing this, and ESD also empowers learners with new skills, knowledge, values, attitude to take the informed decision and make the responsible action for environmental integrity, economic viability and a just society, and preparing a just society, sustainable society for future, present as well as for future. So required, we must empower the people with right kind of knowledge, attitude, skills, values, so that they can be the good decision maker, so they can take the informed decision and take the responsibility for all the three things: economic viability, preparing a just and social and sustainable society, and environmental integrity along in this paradigm. So these are some of the links, video links that we can find out, explore more on these things. So that is why, as we have already discussed, that ESD has become the key enabler of all SDGs, and it's a lifelong transformational learning process. It's a lifelong learning process. It is more holistic in its approach. It focuses on the harmonious development of the society, of the community, of the people, and it is transformational in nature, that it wants to bring the positive 360-degree transformation to encompass new learning content, new outcome, new pedagogy and learning environment, etc. And UNESCO in its recent study has found that, has reviewed the policy documents of 10 countries and found that ESD is mostly associated with teaching of the scientific knowledge and on environment, but it should have the transformative power to education to its full force in other domains, in sustainable cities, decent work, the marine life, then life on land, that is our forest and land on forest. Every domain, it should be incorporated. It's not just important for the science, technology, the knowledge creation, but in every domain, every aspect. So you can go through these links also. And this is actually kind of the green planet, nowadays everywhere there is green marketing, green organizations, green works, green jobs, everywhere that means eco-friendly things are being, these things are being developed. So here I can say even the residential complexes are going to be green. So to ensure the individuals are able to understand sustainability challenges, how to be aware of their relevance to the surrounding, their realities, and to take the action for change. How this is this kind of new architecture of the buildings, where it is along with the natural ecosystem, that is how to make it more sustainable. So, and these are the clips, that means to address these new opportunities and the risk of the sustainable development posed by the emerging technologies are also there. Now you can see that in the new architecture, new designs, in designs, the building designs and construction news in the sustainable cities, smart cities, how these three things have been blended together. So education needs to transform itself, and UNESCO's the new global framework on ESD also called for ESD for 2030. ESD for 2030, that is invites you to join join everybody in this urgent mission. Now we are already in 2022. Within 8 years, then we have to achieve this such SDG goals. So how to create a healthier future? As again, these are some of the UNESCO clips, UNESCO declarations, primarily on transformative education, community learning, and how to develop, how it can be embedded in the learning community, and how it can be as that means how the members to be very active. It implies how to give greater attention to the quality of learning environment, social school climate, environment, human rights, socio-cultural rights, gender-based violence. All the SDGs are to be, all the 17 SDGs are to be addressed through ESD and through transformative education more. So that is why it is required to, again, it is required to establish a coherence and linkage between policy and practice, and we should live that kind of life from the very beginning, from the school level itself, so that we can we want to build a society, sustainable society outside the school. So how it should be, how the children should be taught from the very beginning, not just about the environmental education, but the sustainable education, sustainable environment, sustainable lifestyle, sustainable cities, everywhere. So these are again the same thing. These are the education models. These are education models that is aims to raise the knowledge, awareness, location everywhere. So this is the ESD models, and how the action plans, that the education for sustainable development things, and these are the activities, how it can be blended, in every curriculum, like justice also, how it can be embedded in social science subjects, global partnership, starting from zero hunger to no poverty, to zero hunger, to that 17 goal, that is the sustainable global partnership. So all these things, how it can be, this can be embedded in the school curriculum through ESD process. So this is the kind of model that ESD model should be developed, with the values, behaviors, and learning outcomes, and the whole institution approach to the pedagogy, to the curriculum, where so it should be. So it's now high time how ESD should be embedded from the very beginning in our curriculum with a whole institution approach. And this is the to end the session now this is the theme of this, that transformation of this transformative education. It necessitates, among other things, certain level of disruption with the people opting to step outside the safety of status quo, because it is very difficult, because it is not just to talk about, to advocate the transformative education is very easy, because all of us, we are it's a natural, it's a habit of it's a human habit that we are very comfortable in our own zone, where in our status quo. So how to break that barrier, how to break that zone? So how to, that is like the ice breaking. So how to break that way of thinking, how to break that behavior pattern, how to break that living standard, living pattern. And so it requires a lot of courage, persistence, determination, resources. So and also it can bring also different hurdles with different degrees and intensity from time to time. All kinds of the personal as well as the social problems, hindrances are there, but again with personal dedication, conviction, and insight, all of us, it's a declaration, it's a slogan for all of us to move ahead. To all of us, we should not think that why should I care for the others, why should I care for the society? No, all of us, if we become very selfish and we don't care for others, then we are also not going to be happy in future, because all our futures will be doomed, because all of us, we are the social creation, we live in the social setup. We cannot be isolated, we cannot be self-sufficient without the help the others and society. So keeping in mind that, so we must develop that common feeling, we feeling, from I to we feeling. So from you to they feeling. That means we have to develop that kind of mindset. And in this process, we may face so many barriers, so many hurdles, so many problems and challenges. But again, we need to move ahead with conviction, with spirit, positive spirit, and yes, definitely continuous education. And education, that is not only ESD, continuous education, information, then the now with this social networking side, it has actually, the communication process has been strengthened much better. It has been much better in comparison to our old days. How to take advantage, how to leverage the social networking platform for this, for the spread of this positive thinking, positive behavior. So how this ESD can be spreaded, how the ESD can be integrated, how the ESD can be blended from the very ground level, from the very ground primary school level to the global organizations. So the social, you can say the social, not only social networking, but physical workshops, physical workshops, training things everywhere. That means, but the thing is that all of us, we need to change our mindset. It is a paradigm shift. It's a shift in our outlook. It's a shift in our behavior, attitude, belief system. So then all of us, we can move forward towards a sustainable future, sustainable healthcare system in our country, not only in our country, but across the globe. So these are the links that you can go through for further learning, for in-depth learning and for clarifying your doubts. Now I'm formally ending this sustainable healthcare and ESD's role in this sustainable healthcare. I'm finishing it. Thank you very much.